Hey guys, Stefan Fischer here from All Off Road. I hope you guys are well. Today's video is going to be a short video about the TOPDON TC004, a thermal imaging camera, which I received a few months ago for testing and review purposes. The content of this video is based on my honest opinions, personal experiences and my own testing. The product featured in this video was provided free of charge for testing and review purposes. However, this is not a paid review. I strive to provide accurate and truthful information. However, opinions expressed are my own and may not reflect the views of others. Please note that results may vary depending on individual circumstances and usage conditions. Any product, service or company mentioned is not endorsed unless stated otherwise. Viewers should conduct their own research and make decisions based on their own judgment. This video is for informational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice. Let me briefly explain. A thermal imaging camera was on my long like-to-have list but not absolutely need list for quite some time. Do you know what a thermal imaging camera is? Well, ever wondered how you can actually see heat? That's where thermal imaging cameras come in. These devices detect infrared radiation, or simply put heat, coming from everything around us. It then converts it into an image we can see, showing different temperatures in a color-coded visual. Warmer areas appear bright like red or yellow, and cooler areas show up dark blue or purple. Look, I receive between 5 and 10 emails a week for products to review. Most of that emails though go straight to spam, and there are not that many products I'm really interested in looking at. However, when TOPDON emailed me, to be honest, I'm quite surprised with that name. It didn't go straight to spam because I don't know who comes up with these names, but TOPDON, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, their email sparked my interest. I had a little bit a look around, and it turns out they do a lot of automotive diagnostic equipment. And among the products they have is this high-resolution handheld thermal camera. And again, that was something I was quite interested in. I sent them my product review guidelines, and they were kind enough to send me one of these thermal imaging cameras without any strings attached. However, this is not a paid review and I have no obligation to say really anything about the product. But I have been testing the thermal camera now for some time and even had it on the last trip with me, and I found many applications for it. So let me share with you first the specs. The TOPDON TC004 is a handheld thermal camera that measures temperatures from -20 degrees to 350 degrees and offers up to 12 hours of runtime. It has a 256 by 192 pixel infrared camera for capturing high-resolution thermal images. The device can be used in standalone mode or connected to a PC for image projection and analysis. Unfortunately, it only works on Windows and not on Apple OS. The features are resolution and sensitivity. The thermal camera captures 256 by 192 pixel images. It has a thermal sensitivity of 0.05 degrees, enabling it to detect small temperature differences. It offers 3 modes for detecting center, hot and cold spots. The field of view is 56 degrees. Temperature range and accuracy. It measures temperatures from -20 to +350 degrees with an accuracy of ±2 degrees. The unit is IP54 rated for protection against water and dust and can withstand a 2-meter drop. It includes also a built-in LED light for use in low light conditions. The unit has a powerful built-in battery which can be recharged via USB-C. This battery is supposed to last for 12 hours and I yet have to recharge it, even though I'm using it for many weeks now. The camera also has a tripod mount at the bottom, so you can screw any tripod in here and then set it up. So now let me give you an idea how I have used the camera. Well, I found some pretty unique applications around the house. For example, it works surprisingly well as a stud finder, as it highlights the temperature differences between the studs and the walls. I've also used it to identify weak spots in insulation, both in the walls and ceiling, where the heat escapes. In my shed, It came in handy for product testing on portable power stations. I used it to monitor how much heat was being generated and how hot the unit got during operations. Another critical use was during max current testing of some lithium batteries. Luckily, I had the camera on hand because I discovered an issue with the terminal bolts that were just a millimeter too long. After tightening them, there was still a little movement in the inverter cable, which caused excessive heat buildup. The thermal camera picked that up, preventing what could have been a serious issue. It was my mistake not double checking the cable after tightening, but the camera saved me from potential damage. In my four-wheel drive, I've got two Red Arc BCDC chargers, a BCDC 1250D and a BCDC 1225D, charging my Red Arc Alpha 150 LFP battery. While the 50 amp hour charger is supposed to provide a high current charge, but I noticed it wasn't delivering full output for long. Redtech, not to confuse with Red Arc, sent me a cooling solution for the charger to stop it from throttling the output due to the internal heat. This is a prototype unit, and Redtech asked me to provide feedback. Using the thermal imaging camera, I was able to isolate the hotspots and provide feedback to the manufacturer. I also found that my 25 amp charger was running quite hot, so I've now decided to use the Redtech housing and fan for both units. By the way, the Redtech housing so far in all my testing has worked perfectly, and I have not seen a throttling in the current output provided by the Red Arc charger. There are plenty of other four-wheel drive applications where this camera would be useful, even though I haven't personally tested them yet. For instance, you could monitor engine, brake or exhaust heat to detect potential overheating issues. It's also great for making sure campfires are completely out before leaving by checking for lingering heat that you can't see with the naked eye. In off-road search and rescue scenarios, a thermal camera could help locate people in low visibility by picking up their body heat, especially in dense bush or low light conditions. TOPDON actually also has a thermal imaging monocular, which I could see me testing in the future. Now, the unit cost around $575, which isn't exactly cheap. It's probably not something everyone would carry, I'll admit. I wouldn't have bought one right away myself, but now that I have it, I'm using it frequently and I'm glad to have it. Whether it's a toy or tool for you worth the money, it's up to you. But for me, it's definitely staying in my shed and four-wheel drive. I'm thankful TOPDON reached out because honestly, it would have stayed on my want list a lot longer without that push. So let me now give you a quick explanation of the basic functionality of the camera and how it works. After you purchase the unit, I would first make sure that the SD card is inserted. In my case, it's already in here. And then I would also charge the unit before first use, and you just use a USB-C cable, plug it in here, and that will charge the unit. The unit is very easy to operate and you pretty much can switch it on and start using it. So I push the on button. It takes a little while for the unit to start up. And voila, the unit is pretty much ready to go. If you want to get into the menu, you push the middle button here and now you see the menu here at the bottom. Just keep in mind, if you're in the measurement menu here, you see the cold, hot and the center point, and on the far right is close. So if you click that, all the measuring points are closed, and to open them again you have to enable them all individually again. So I would go to settings, left and right you can switch between the different parameters. Here it's settings. Now temperature scale, have a look at that, and I choose here -20 to 150. You could also go from 100 to 350. Use this button here to go back in the menu. Photo settings, I set that so that the photos are automatically saved. Temperature units, make sure it is Celsius, or at least if you're here in Australia, I guess you want Celsius. You also have Fahrenheit and I think Kelvin. Date and time, I definitely would set that correctly. So push again of the middle button and now you can set the date and time. For me that is all correct. So go back. Language, yeah, obviously power on and off. So few system settings here, but you don't really need that. If we go back in the menu, we have different color palettes. I, to be honest, use the default iron. You also have a black where everything dark is hot. You have where everything white is hot. And you have a rainbow, but I prefer, to be honest, the iron here. So I'll leave that selected. One other thing is the measurement points. I have all 3 points enabled. If we click on that, you see there's a hotspot, center spot, hotspot and cold spot, and I want that all enabled. On the other side of the unit we have a trigger button, and if I press that button once, it will automatically take a screenshot, which in my case is automatically saved. If I keep the button pushed, it will start recording a video, and you see that here. And if I push the button again, the video is stopped. Video you can't autosave, so if I want to save the video, I just click the center button here, and that will save the video. And this is pretty much how the unit operates. You can obviously now tilt it up and down, and you see a little bit hidden here. The hottest spot here is 27 degrees, and that are my LED lights at the top. This is the center button, and the coolest spot is the green one. So the operation of the unit is pretty self-explanatory and easy. Just point it to whatever you like. You also have a LED light here, which you can enable here, but obviously that has no need for me now. But you see the light here, and that switches it off. If you want to view the videos you saved, so it loads here all the images, and then you can have a look at them, also at the videos. And here it plays you the video, for instance. By the way, the created H.264 files I could not open on my Mac natively with VLC nor with QuickTime. I needed to use a software like IFFWorks to convert them, and only then I could open them. I'm not sure why, because H.264 really should open natively on the Mac. They say it's a high resolution camera, and it is high resolution in regards to other thermal cameras, but it's still not 1080p or so, so the resolution is fairly small in comparison to what you used in your normal life. But that's just how it is, and this is one of the higher resolution cameras. TOPDON gave me an affiliate link, so if you're interested into this camera, I think at the moment it sells in Australia for $569. So it's not cheap, but it is an automotive grade device. At least that's how it feels. And I will definitely keep these around the workshop and the car for the many uses mentioned before. So if you want to purchase one, just use my referral link. It doesn't cost you any extra, but I get a few dollars if you purchase one through that link. Yeah guys, so that is my quick overview, short review of the TOPDON TC004. As I mentioned before, I really like the unit. I didn't really know how much I needed this unit until I had it, and now I definitely do not want to miss it. Quality-wise, so far, it looks very well made. It seems to be a very sturdy unit. The battery time is outstanding. And for modern devices, if they can't be charged via USB-C, that is already a big no-no for me, and it would need to be a device I really love to still get it. This one can be charged via USB-C, and yeah, I really like the unit. Is it something you want to spend money on? I can't tell you. I love gadgets, and for me, for doing reviews and testing a lot of products, it really makes sense. But I also can see a lot of applications around the home and around the car and shed just for a regular user. But $579 is definitely not cheap. If you decide to buy one, please use my affiliate link, but don't tell your wife you bought it because of my videos. I don't want to get into her bad books. So if my videos do help you and sometimes may cost you money because you purchase products, I would greatly appreciate if you could share, like, subscribe. And if you can afford it, please consider to head over to Patreon and become one of my Patreon supporters. I mean, this unit here, for example, cost $579. While I received the unit theoretically for free, the time it took me to test it, to create the video, to have my kids helping me edit the video, and if we now roughly calculate the return I receive via Google AdWords for a video like this, I mean, the hourly rate I wouldn't let my kids work for. So any support via Patreon to keep this channel going and keep creating these honest reviews for you would be greatly appreciated. If you are already one of my Patreon supporters, I would like to thank you very, very much, because without your guys' support, it would make it even harder to keep an unbiased channel and provide you these honest reviews. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you along the tracks.